The creation of the universe. Norse creation myths were permeated by the natural elements that were regular features of the people's environment. The engendering of life, the formation of the cosmos, and the establishment of the heavenly bodies were all seen as determined by the dramatic collision of heat and cold, most vividly typified by volcanic activity in a subarctic landscape. The most important sources for the Norse belief are the 10th century Voluspa and the 13th century Grimnismal and Vaftubruddnismal, three poems which the Icelandic chronicler Snorri Sturluson expanded upon from other unknown sources in his detailed account in the Prose Edda. At the beginning of time, before the earth had been formed, there was nothing in existence, just a void called Ginnungagap. To the south of this was Muspel, a region which was bright and full of flames. To the north lay freezing cold Niflheim, which later became the land of the dead. In the midst of Niflheim was Vergelmir, a spring from which flowed 11 rivers. As these rivers ran from their source, the poisonous leaves that they deposited began to harden into ice. When the ice came to a halt, the vapor rising from the poison froze into frost, layer upon layer, until it had spread right across Ginnungagap. Grim cold and eye emanated from Niflheim, and that part of Ginnungagap that faced northwards, but the southernmost part was warmed by the sparks hot wind from Muspel. As the frost met these gusts, it melted, and from the moisture life began. The drops formed a primeval giant, Ymir, who gave rise to a race of frost giants. From sweat under his left armpit, Ymir grew a male and a female, while one of his legs begot a giant son. Further melt ice created Audumla, a cow from whose udder there flowed rivers of milk for Ymir. For her own sustenance, Audumla licked the salty rhinestones. After 3 days of licking on the stones, a complete man had emerged. Again, life had grown out of the reaction of heat and cold on one another. The strong, handsome man, Buri, begot a son called Bor, who married Bestla, the daughter of the frost giant called Bolthorn. They produced 3 sons, the gods Odin, Vili, and Ve, who in the meantime had decided to kill Ymir. So much blood flowed when Ymir fell that the race of frost giants was drowned. Only Bergelmir escaped, becoming the progenitor of a new race of giants. Odin and his brothers then created the world out of Ymir's body, the earth out of the flesh, rocks from his bones, stones and gravel from his teeth, and shattered bones, and lakes and the seas from the blood that flowed from his wounds. From Ymir's skull they formed the sky and set it up over the earth, placing 4 dwarves, Nordri, Sudri, Austri, and Vestri, representing the north, south, east, and west, at each corner to hold it up. Ymir's hair was used to create flora, and his brains were thrown into the sky to form the clouds. The 3 gods took sparks and glowing particles emanating from Muspel and set them in the firmament above them below the earth to become the stars in the sky. They gave positions to all of them and ordained their courses. Some were fixed, while others wandered around and below the earth the gods had constructed. The earth itself was circular, and they placed a vast sea around it. Along the shore they allotted land to the giants, while inland they made a fortification against them out of Ymir's eyelashes, within which lay Midgard, the realm the human race was to inhabit.